Gordy, you know how I feel, what I think about buying all these Star Wars toys?
How do you think about buying all these Star Wars toys?
Fuck yeah! What's up, guys? Adam Ronin here. As you know, Force Friday is upon us. The time for Star Wars toys. New ones from Episode 7 have been unleashed onto the world. Force Friday, September 4th launched. I went to the midnight launch at my Target and kind of had some fun with some guys and, you know, got some stuff. And then I went to Toys R Us and I hit up some Walmarts. And then today, Gordy and I went to Toys R Us and kind of some other Targets and some other Walmarts to pick up some stuff that I didn't get. So today we're kind of just gonna go over the figures, what I think about them, maybe rank them on a scale of 1 to 10, and we're just gonna get a little weird and we're gonna get a little forcey up in this bitch. So let's get started.
If you only knew the power of the dark side. You are beaten. It is useless to resist.
It's not James Earl Jones. It tastes like Sith. Okay, so I'm a collector of the figures. That's kind of like my big thing. For the uninitiated, there are two different kinds of figures you can get. There are the basic figures, which have kind of been the norm since 1977. Originally started by Kenner, now Hasbro's got it. That's kind of been my thing since I was a kid, been collecting them for a while. And then they've got the 6-inch Black Series. Heyo! That's kind of more for collectors, more the people my age and stuff like that. I pick these sparsely. I kind of just get the ones I want. But first, let's go over the packaging. So the packaging's sexy. Everywhere you look for the Episode 7 for Force Friday, you see Kylo Ren. He's the new bad guy here, who I've got showcased here in the 3 3/4 and the 6-inch. So he's on all the packaging. The packaging's actually really nice. I love the black and red scheme. It's kind of cool. You can see here for the Black Series, black box, nicely numbered. They're positioned inside nicely. There's no complaints about the packaging. It's a sexy thing. So Kylo Ren, as to be expected, was difficult to find. I had to make a few stops last night at midnight before I got my grubby little Nerfer hands on him. But he's the one I was most excited about. I picked up most of the 3 3/4, just the one Black inch and a few vehicles and stuff, which we'll go over. But as for packaging wise, solid, no complaints. It's pretty sweet. The best part of Star Wars figures, now collectors range from young to old, and you know, some of you put them on the wall, some of you keep in the package. I get a little both, but you know what? Toys are meant to be played with, so I'm gonna open these motherfuckers right up, and we're gonna take a look at the figures. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Collectors are upset, understandably, I guess. All the 3 3/4 are 5 points of articulation. But what does that mean? Let me tell you. So for the uninitiated, 5 points of articulation is exactly what it says. There's 5 points of articulation. Head, arms, legs, and that's it. And that's how the figures initially came back in the 70s and through the 80s. And then throughout the 90s and the 2000s and stuff, they started adding articulation in the arm and the elbows and stuff that you do get with the 6 inches. And so fans are kind of upset. Like a lot of the older collectors are like, why are they dumbing the figures down? Like, yeah, my nerdy tendencies. However, you have to remember, this is a whole new trilogy. Gordy and I were talking about this. A whole new trilogy, so they're kind of going back to basics where your figures are as they once were at the start of the initial trilogy. So bringing Han and Leia and Chewie and everyone back, and I feel like they're going back to basics where the 5 points of articulation, but also from a company standpoint, they're trying to save money, and you know, these are for kids. Well, I mean, let's brass tacks here. And so, you know, kids aren't gonna give a shit. I didn't give a shit, and I kind of still don't give a shit. But enough with that, let's tear these open and let's get a little cray. Okay, so we're loose now. I've opened just a couple of them, right, you know, to kind of get started. So I opened small Kylo and big Kylo, 6-inch black Kylo. So let's kind of go over the different things. So as I say before, we have 5 points. We have a swivel head, swivel arms, bizarre swivel legs that kind of cut his little dress in half. You know, whatevs. However, the sculpt on the figure is just titties. Really good sculpt. And, you know, if you're comparing to figures of yore, back in the 80s, you know, you can't compare. The Finn figure here, we do have some scuffs like paint app-wise. It's not bad. It's a good figure. Like, it's, you know, Hasbro, they're known for good sculpts, in my opinion. However, I feel like his proportions are a little strange. It looks like his legs are kind of small. I don't know. But, you know, it's not bad. Now, accessory-wise, I'm kind of bummed out that Finn doesn't come with a lightsaber because, as we all know from the Instagram teaser and some of the pictures that have been floating around, he is the wielder of Luke/Anakin's lightsaber. So, you know, whatever, you could just pick one up from one of your Luke or Anakin figures, slide that motherfucker in his hands, and they can duel, you know what I'm saying? So 6-inch wise, I mean, this is kind of where it's at for people that are really bonkers about articulation and detail. His saber, a little kind of wonky, and I hate, that's when I'm buying Star Wars figures, I'm always like really weird about the sabers in the packaging, because I don't want them to be bent, because it just takes the immersion out of it when I'm playing with them. But no, it's sweet. The saber's cool. I'm a fan of the tri-saber that he's rocking, the little broadsword saber. His articulation's great though, like no muffled movements from the plastic skirt, I guess you could say. You know, no, he's great. He's detailed. He's got his little Vader helmet thing going on. He's a sick figure. Collectors, I can see, might be a little upset by some of their articulation choices. However, the sculpts are good. Paint apps are not bad. Size is okay. That's what she said. So, you know what? If I was to score these, with the 6 inches that I have, I would probably give the 6-inch a 10 out of 10. Like, that's a sick figure. Like, I'm into it. However, if I am to score the 3 3/4 inch, 5 points of articulation, basic figures, this Kylo here, like, I would give like a straight 8 out of 10 just on the sculpt alone. Articulation is a bummer, but you know what? Kids aren't gonna care, and that's really the most important thing. But the Finn figure, I would probably give maybe a 6 out of 10, because his proportions seem really strange, and the paint app is a bit wonky. Don't hate it though. Don't hate. Figures are sweet. I could talk to you all day about Star Wars figures. However, I and Gordy are going to pretend like we're 8, and we're going to play with these. And we're going to play right now. So we'll see you soon.
Subscribe.